Welcome back. Now in JavaScript, there are three big and important array methods that we use all the time to perform data transformations, that are methods and that we use to create new arrays based on transforming data from other arrays. And in recent years, these tools have become really popular and for good reasons, and therefore you will see them everywhere you look in modern JavaScript also. And the tools I am talking about are map, filter, and reduce. So these are the three array methods. And in this lecture, I am going to give you a quick review of them. Then over the next couple of lectures, we are going deep into these three methods. So in practice, we can use them throughout the rest of the course. The first map method is yet another method that we can use to loop over the arrays. So map is actually similar to the for each method that we studied before also, but with the difference that map creates a brand new array based on the original array. So essentially, the map method takes an array, loops over that array, and in each iteration, so it applies a covec function that we specify on our code to the current array element. So in this example, we say that each element shall be multiplied by 2. And with this covec in place, the map method multiplies every single element by 2 and puts it into a new array. We say that it maps the values of the original array to a new array, and that's why this method is called map. And it is extremely useful and usually way more useful than in for each method, because of for each simply allows to do some work with each array element, but map on the other hand builds as a new array, so containing the results of applying an operation to the original array. And we will see use the map method in practice right in the next video. And next we have the filter method, which as the name says is used to filter for elements in the original array which satisfy a certain condition. So in this example, we are only looking for elements greater than 2. So all the elements that passes the test that we specified will make it into a new filtered array. Or in other words, elements for which the condition is true, then only will be included in a new array that the filter method returns. All the other elements will get filtered out, so they will not be included in the new array. And finally, there is also the reduce method, which we use to boil down all the elements of the original array into one single value. And in this example of this can be to add all the elements of an array together, but we can also do many other interesting things. So for example of adding up all the numbers in the array, we need to specify an operation like this one, where we have an accumulator variable. So then as the reduce method loops over the array, it keeps adding the current element onto the accumulator, until at the end of the loop we have the total sum of all the elements. So you can imagine this as a snowball. It keeps getting bigger and bigger as it rolls down a hill. And so this is known as the snowball effect, and reduce it pretty similar to that. So keep that in mind as a nice analogy. Now we also said that this whole process has now reduced the original array to one single value, which is this in this case is the sum of all the elements, but it can of course be many other operations. Now it's this value that then actually gets returned from the reduce method in the end. So there is no new array in this case, but only the reduced value. Now this probably sounds more complicated than it actually is. So let's start it put to into practice in the next video. So this is all about the video. See you in the next one. Thank you.